Leave it on green, okay. Yeah. Oh, no, no, no. No, no. Okay, good evening, everyone. We are ready to begin tonight's City Council meeting for Tuesday, August the 13th, 2024. I'd like to remind everybody to please put your phones on silent so that it does not interrupt our meetings tonight. So tonight, we're going to begin with our Pledge of Allegiance. I'm sorry, let me go back for a second here. We're going to start with our roll call. Madam City Clerk, will you do the roll, please?
Mayor Serta,
Here?
Mayor Pro Tem Tanaka,
Here.
Councilmember Henderson,
Here.
Councilmember Francis,
Here.
Councilmember Love.
Yes, here.
Okay, Madam President, all council members are present.
Okay, thank you. So tonight, we did not have closed session, so there's nothing to report out. We're going to go directly to our Pledge of Allegiance, which is tonight being led by Maya Hieronymus, I think I pronounced that right, and Emma Hieronymus, both students from Amstoy Middle School. Immediately following that, we're going to have our invocation by Reverend Nobuharu Uzunu. So at this time, please stand if our pledgers could come to the front.
Please put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please continue standing. If our invocator could come forward, please. Reverend Uzuno, if you can come forward, please.
Let us pray. We are gathered here this evening at the City of Gardena Hall for the City Council meeting. Dear Divine Parent of the universe, all living things are blessed by you. Our gratitude is infinite for all the blessings we receive in our daily lives. Please give us strength and guidance to change the way we live in doing so. We become more patient, more receptive, honest, and humble. Let us remember to ask for your guidance and help us walk together with each other as one. Dear Divine Parent, you taught us that when people suffer, you sudden suffer unto. Through this opportunity of being able to hold a city council meeting this evening, we will humble pray and hope that today's council meeting will be conducted with an open heart, that all people's opinions are careful listen to proceed equal and peacefully and allow meaningful discussion and decision to be made for our community. Please continue to guide us in prayer for the world. Help recognize opportunities to help others. Let us realize this every day. And we humbly ask that you continuously watch over us, guide us, and protect us. We offer our heart of gratitude for your love and virtue as we are allowed to live in this moment. Dear Divine Parent, for this we humbly pray. Thank you.
You may be seated. Okay, if I can have our two pledgers come back to the front here. So tonight's Pledge of Allegiance was led by Maya Hieronymus, who is in the 3rd grade. I hope I pronounced that right. And her sister Emma, who's in the 6th grade. Both students attend, Maya attends Amstoy Elementary School, and Emma attends Robert E. Perry Middle School. Maya is the first student of the inaugural Japanese dual language program at Amstoy Elementary. She began the Conservatory of Fine Arts studying voice. Let's start with you, Maya. Do you want to say anything tonight or introduce who your parents are? Nope, you want to let your big sister do it? We'll do that then, okay. Well, also we have tonight Emma, who is in the Gifted Magnet Program at Perry and is entering her 3rd year of the Conservatory of Fine Arts studying world dance. Both Maya and Emma have participated in many City of Gardena events and love the Recreation Department. So, Emma, would you like to tell us who you brought with you tonight, your mom or dad, or?
I've brought my mom and dad with me here.
Where are they at? Right there? Okay, let's give them a round of applause for bringing them out. And Emma, would you like to say anything on behalf of you and your sister?
I'm okay.
You're okay? All right, that's fine too. Well, thank you guys again for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. You guys did a great job. Continue doing well in school and all the other activities you participate in. Give them one more round of applause. And you guys can take your seats now.
Thank you.
If I could have our invocator come back to the front. So tonight's invocation was led by Reverend Nobuhara Uzuno from Kanoko Church of Gardena, which is located at 15722 South Normandy Avenue, and that's in Gardena. In June of 1968, Reverend Nobuhara Uzuno was ordained as a Kanoko faith minister in Japan. A few years later, in May of 1971, he came from Japan to America for missionary work and began his leadership at the Kanoko Church of Hollywood. A year later, he moved again to work at the Kanoko Church of Portland. In 1989, he became the chief administrative minister for Kanoko Churches of North America. Lastly, on June 14th of 2001, he came to the Kanoko Church of Gardena, where he currently resides. Reverend Uzuno?
Yes.
Would you like to say anything?
No, my name is Nobuharu Uzunoe.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you for leading us in tonight's invocation. Everyone, please give him a round of applause as well. So before we start our, let's go ahead and go to presentations here. Tonight, item number 5A, we are going to recognize the City of Gardena Police Department's K-9 officer for being awarded first place, come on up, Chief, first place at the Los Angeles County Police K-9 Association's 23rd Annual Police K-9 Demonstration. Chief, I will let you take over here.
All right, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council, I'm very pleased to be here today. I'd like to introduce you to our two K-9s. Over the last 4 years, this unit has been rebuilt by policy, by training, by officer, and by dog. And I think with the work of these two officers, who you'll be introduced to here in a minute, you'll be convinced that it's a much better unit now than it's ever been. So very, very proud of it. So we're here tonight is to talk about a recent award that one of our dogs won. So on July 27, 2024, both Officers Medeiros and his partner Vito and Officer Ruvalcaba and his partner Maxo entered the 23rd Annual Police K-9 Demonstration hosted by the Los Angeles County Police K-9 Association. The K-9 demo hosted over 30 K-9 teams from over 10 police agencies around LA County who showcased their handler and their K-9 skills in various demonstrations. These demonstrations included obstacle course, toughest dog, call off, fastest dog, a detection demonstration, and other scenarios to showcase the dog's skills for the crowd. The toughest dog, the fastest dog, and the call-off demonstration were the only scenarios that offered a trophy for first place. So I'm also joined here today by Captain Vince Osorio, who commands this team, as well as Lieutenant Chris Cuff, who pours his heart into this team, giving them the resources and the guidance to get them where they are today. So I'm going to turn it over to Chris to talk about this performance. And please bring the hardware over so everyone can see.
Let me hide that. Okay. So, Madam Mayor and City Council, thank you for allowing us to come here and speak before you today. This is a unit that, if you've seen me at a district meeting or heard me talk about this unit, I'm extremely proud of what we've been able to accomplish with this unit. Effectively, a little bit over 2 years ago, we had to rebuild the unit, and one of the or a few things that were important to me as well as the agency was being able to do something like this, being able to bring 2 dogs into a scenario where I don't know if this has ever happened before, but in an environment like this, and it be okay. And so I'm sure Councilman Tanaka could probably vouch for that in the history of the agency. And so it's been a big deal. On top of that, the 2 officers who are in charge of the dogs. We're not an agency where we're, say, like LAPD or the Sheriff's Department, where you have 19 or 20 dogs. And in those 19 or 20 dogs, you have the capacity to have 10 of those dogs be patrol dogs and not have the ability to interact with the public. And the others be your community relations dogs. We have 2. And so one of the things that was important for us was to be able to have dogs that were extremely competent, which you'll see here in a second, as well as have the ability to interact with the community in the way that we're doing right now. And so for that, I am extremely happy to be able to display that capability. And so, but then most importantly is it's one thing to be nice, it's one thing to have the ability to interact with the community, but you also have to be competent, no different than any one of our officers. And these are 2 dogs that are extremely competent. I know the Olympics just ended. However, our Canine Olympics is where we shined, and we brought home some gold to be able to show you that. Both of these dogs are extremely capable. Maxo won an award, and I'll talk about that in a second, but also want to talk about Vito and some of the things that this dog was able to do. This dog participated in the fastest dog in the obstacle course, as well as in agility course. And after having done all that, when the dog participated in the fastest dog, with the muzzle on, was still able to run. He was given a command to chase down a robbery suspect, and I think the dog clocked it a little bit over 24 miles an hour. So unless you have some really nice Hokas or some Nikes, getting away from this dog will be very difficult to do. Another capability of this dog is from a standing right here, can scale about an 8-foot wall, 8-foot solid wall, without being able to run up. And so that's Vito. Maxo, he won first place in the call-off. And what a call-off is, and we'll show you the video, is if you can imagine a kid, and you have an 8 or 9-year-old kid, and you find the most important toy to this kid, put it right in front of him and say, go get your toy. And just before the kid goes to grab that toy, say, nope, come back. That is effectively what this dog was able to do, is when Officer Ruvalcava gave the dog the command to go get the suspect, at the very last minute, with just a verbal command, said, stop. And to be able to have that kind of control, just without electronics or without anything other than a verbal command, the skill that it takes to do that, and the bond between these 2, the handler and the dog, to have that capability, it's extremely important. Because what happens if this wasn't a competition? This was a scenario, and you send the dog to go bite someone or apprehend someone, and last minute, you tell the dog to stop and the dog doesn't. We have a problem. And so to know that our dogs are capable of doing that is extremely important to me, it's extremely important to them and for the chief. It looks very good for our agency. And so if you can show the video and you can see what's happening. They're about 40 yards away. And imagine a pro football player during the combine running his 40-yard dash, and you ask them to stop on a dime. that's effectively what happens here. So you can play. And so the dog that we beat stopped a little bit over a foot away from the decoy, whereas Maxo stopped was a little bit 8 inches or so, roughly 8 inches, and sat there and stared and did nothing until Officer Rubalcaba gave him the command to do something else. So that level of control is not unheard of, but it's extremely important. So we've got some hard work to bring back to the agency as a result. I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Oh, there might be another video. I think there's another video that shows it a little bit, a different perspective, but you can get an idea of what's actually happening. Yeah, the green cone is the team that lost. Sorry, PD. There it was. So, thank you.
All right.
So we know that people's first interaction, maybe their first interaction ever with a canine, and that's what they remember forever. So we're going to give you a little miniature canine for each one of you, council, so that you can remember this, and as well as our two pledgers back here, so that you'll always remember this experience of seeing these great dogs in the city of Gardena.
Okay, well, thank you very much. And we have a certificate from the city. I'm going to be very brief with it. It says City of Recognition being presented to the City of Gardena Police Canine Officer Humberto Rubalcaba, I hope I pronounced that right, and Canine Maxo, an official acknowledgement of their outstanding achievements and first place at the 23rd Annual Los Angeles County Police Canine Association demonstration, which was on Saturday, July 27th in Redondo Beach, California. It's been signed by myself and the entire City Council. Congratulations for winning, but I want to congratulate both of you guys just for competing in something like this here and having such amazing dogs. So hats off to you guys. You know, this City Council is always proud of our police department, but you guys have taken it a step further now. So congratulations again. Everyone give them a round of applause, please.
Thank you.
Quick comment, Madam Mayor.
Go ahead, go ahead.
So back in the day when I was the canine lieutenant, believe it or not, I had two chiefs that were canine officers. So I had Ed Medrano and I had Thomas Kang. They never brought awards home. So I went to the competitions and I understand what you went through. So with you guys and your new dogs, thank you very much for what you do.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you guys again. And he wants to go back to your desk. Okay, so next we have our Gardena Events video presentation. Okay, awesome video. I want to do some quick housekeeping here first. So tonight, if you'd like to participate in this meeting, you can participate via the following options. One, you can view our meeting live on Spectrum Channel 22 or online at youtube.com/City of Gardena. The second way you can participate in our meeting is prior to the meeting, you can email our Deputy City Clerk at publiccomments@cityofgardena.org by 5 p.m. on the day of the meeting and write public comments in the subject line. And the third way is you can attend our meetings in person. In fact, I had somebody ask me tonight, they said, I thought all your city council meetings were closed session. I want to make it very much known that these are all open to the public here. Public comments. The city council will hear from the public on any item on the agenda or any item of interest that is not on the agenda at the following times. If it is an agenda item, at the time the city council considers the item or during oral communications. If it's a non-agenda item, during oral communications. And if it's a public hearing, at the time the public hearing is listed on the agenda. If you wish to address the city council, please complete a speaker request form. It looks like this here, presented to the city clerk or the sergeant at arms. Please raise your hand. And you will be called to the podium by name when it's your turn to speak. The city council cannot legally take any action on any item not scheduled on the agenda, and such items may be referred for administrative action or scheduled on a future agenda. Members of the public wishing to address the city council will be given 3 minutes to speak. We also have standards of behavior that promote civility at all of our public meetings. We treat everyone courteously. We listen to others respectfully. We exercise self-control, and we give open-minded considerations to all viewpoints. We focus on the issues and avoid personalizing debate, and we embrace respectful disagreement and dissent as democratic rights, inherent components of an inclusive public process and tools for foregoing sound decisions. So thank you in advance for your cooperation as well as your attendance. And with that, I'm going to move on to item number 7A, which is the reorganization of council assignments of delegates and alternates to our outside committees. Mr. City Manager, do you want to read that?
Mayor, sir, and members of City Council, agenda item 7A is the appointments. This is the reorganization of council assignments of delegates and alternates to outside and city committees. Tonight, what is required is to approve council assignments to outside city committees. There's a list of council delegate and alternate assignments in your packets. What's required tonight is to approve any of these, any changes to these assignments.
Okay. All right, thank you. Madam City Clerk, do we have anybody from the public wishing to speak on this item?
No, Madam, excuse me, no, Madam Mayor.
Okay, so at the last meeting, I made a mistake. Councilmember Francis, I was under the impression you were my alternate. What I didn't know was that, or I didn't remember, is that I guess you asked to be taken off because it conflicted with your work schedule. But for some reason with the sanitation board, they never updated that. So that's why I was thinking you were still the alternate to that. And so you're still comfortable with not being the alternate, is that correct?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I'm comfortable not being the alternate.
Would not be in the alternate. Okay, and that's fine. At the time, Councilmember Henderson, you mentioned you didn't mind being the alternate for that. Are you still interested in that? Okay, so that's one. Also, one of the things that was brought to our attention is that on the previous one, I don't think it's written on here, it was the Fire Authority is no longer a board that exists. Is that what it's called, the Fire Authority?
It was called the Inglewood Fire Training Facility Authority Commission.
Okay, and that no longer exists anymore, which removes that from Councilmember Love's positions. But my understanding is there is an opening for the Water Board, I think, Rep? Is that the understanding? If that's something that you want to sit on that board? No, okay. Do we need to assign somebody to sit on that one at this time?
Currently, it's the West Basin Water Association, which meets the first Tuesday of the month at 11:30. Is that the one that you were referring to?
That's correct, that one.
Currently, it's assigned to Councilmember Francis.
Now, does that one still conflict with your work schedule?
Yes, if it's during the summer, there's no problem, but I have a schedule conflict, so I have a day job.
Okay, that's fine. Does any other member of the council like to sit in as the person for that one there? No, it's the first, oh, I'm sorry, you did first.
First Tuesday of the month at 11:30.
Can we bring that one back at a later time if we don't, unless somebody else wants to?
It's at the council's discretion if you guys can either table that specific one, just make a motion to table that one, and you can deal with the rest of them. That's an option as well. Or if Councilmember Tanaka, I don't want to speak for yourself.
If you want to take it, I'll be your alternate, if you like. And I don't mind being your alternate. Okay. I think that was the only thing we had to discuss. Is it related to that? Is that correct? Is there anything else? And I can take a motion for that? Oh, I'm sorry, hold on. Mr. Manager, was there anything else?
No, Madam Mayor.
Okay. So that being said, make a motion to, you were already off the sanitation. Make a motion to make Councilmember Henderson the alternate for the LA County Sanitation, and then Mayor Pro Tem Tanaka, the rep for the West Basin Water Board, and I'll be the alternate. Okay.
And everything else remains the same.
And everything else remains the same. Okay, I'm sorry, Councilmember Francis, I think you made a motion for that. And then Councilmember Tanaka. Okay, Madam City Clerk, Councilmember Francis made the motion. And then Mayor Pro Tem seconded it. Will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Francis.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Tanaka.
Yes.
Councilmember Henderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Love.
Yes.
Mayor Serta.
Yes. Okay, next up is the consent calendar. Madam City Clerk, have we had anybody submit a request to speak since earlier today? No?
No, Madam Mayor.
Okay. Does any member of the council wish to speak on any items on the consent calendar here?
I do, Madam Mayor.
Which one?
It was the 8E.
Okay. Okay. All right. If no one else, then I'd like to make a motion to, is there a motion to approve the consent calendar with the exception of item number 8E? Is there a second? Okay. Madam City Clerk, a motion is made by Councilmember Tanaka, Mayor Pro Tem Tanaka, and a second by Councilmember Henderson. Will you call the roll?
Mayor Pro Tem Tanaka.
Yes.
Councilmember Henderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Francis.
Yes.
Councilmember Love.
Yes.
Mayor Serta.
Yes. Okay. Item number 8E, question?
Yes, Madam Mayor. I was taking a look at this, and I'm wondering, is a blanket authority to file application for grant funding, is this going to be a one-time or ongoing? I didn't quite understand because I have some concerns about some particular parks. And I know this is one part of the money that we have now is going to go toward Masukai. It's like $2 million for Masukai. So is there going to be allocation annually for us? And then we can, I guess in accordance with the master plan, come up with some type of strategic plan of how we're going to approach upgrading our green spaces, parks, and open spaces.
So, Councilmember Francis, it's a good question. So, this is regarding Measure A. Measure A is 1.5 cents per square foot building floor area. This has been going on since 2018, and we get about $377,000 a year. We currently have about $2.2 million banked, and as you alluded to, we are going to use that for the Mas Fukai refurbishment. So what we're proposing with this blanket authority is that rather than having to have numerous resolutions for every single project that we allocate to, we just simply have a blanket one, kind of like the blanket purchase order that you have given me, and to be able to apply that to future projects that Measure A is allowed to use, which is basically open space, parks, et cetera. So initially, we're going to be using the $2.2 million for Mas Fukai, and then as we see fit, any new projects that we come about, we're going to be able to apply that to future projects. Okay. So essentially, you're getting about $377,000 a year.
So beyond the park master plan, is there some type of, because I'm just perhaps curious as to how strategically we're going to utilize the annual funding. At which parks is there some kind of strategic plan or some vision? parks of greatest need, or how's that going to work, and how are we going to be?
So the purpose of the master plan, the Parks Master Plan, is to give us a roadmap as to the needs of the city as far as order of importance in the parks that we have, as far as refurbishments, just like Mas Fukai. So we are attempting to fulfill the needs of the Parks Master Plan. So to the best of our knowledge, we would be following the guidelines of the Parks Master Plan. Beyond, let's say we exhaust the $2.2 million, so we bank the $377,000 a year again until we can use that again for something more meaningful for our parks. Now, obviously, Measure A is not the only source of funding for our attempt to refurbish our parks per the master plan. You might be using the general fund. This is just going to be augmenting any funding sources we currently have, or future funds through grant programs.
Okay, but as terms of as a council member, how would I be informed of what's next on the list? Because I guess after reading the Park Master Plan, it's like about 600 pages, and I could be mistaken of which way we're going to go. But I was just wondering, how will we be informed? Is there a plan? I know there is a master plan, but to me, the master plan is like the overall vision or the overall plan for everything. So what is the approach for each park? And it's in there, but what comes next, I guess, and how would I know what comes next as council member? I hear where you're going with this, and it's not bad, but great idea. But how are we going to be kept informed? How will we be kept informed?
So beyond the Parks Master Plan, we develop priority listing, just like any projects that we do. And how you're informed is that you will get, we bring the projects into an agenda item. We say, here, council members, this is the next project that we're thinking of using. We might use Measure A along with other funding. And ultimately, it's your decision as a council body to approve or not approve that project. So that's how you're notified, and that's how you approve the next projects. Right. This mechanism is just for us to be able to apply Measure A funding, so we don't have to keep on getting another resolution for every single project that we have in the future.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, are there any other questions or comments? If not, can I get a motion to approve item number 8E? Is there a second?
Second.
All right, Madam City Clerk, there was a motion made by Councilmember Francis and a second by Councilmember Tanaka. Will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Francis.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Tanaka.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Henderson.
Councilman Henderson,
I'm sorry.
yes.
Excuse me, Councilman Henderson. Got to get used to that. And one, Councilmember Love.
Yes.
Mayor Serta.
Yes. Okay, so next is Planning and Environmental Quality Commission action sheet. The August 6, 2024 meeting was canceled. So we're going to move on to oral communications. We have about 5 speakers. 5 speakers tonight. Just want to remind you guys that you do have 3 minutes to speak. When the yellow light comes on, that will alert you that your 2 minutes are up, and when the red light comes on, that will let you know that your time is up, and you'll hear a buzzer. So first speaker tonight is Carlos Marquez.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Excuse me. I'm here, but I always kind of settled before what I was here for. I spoke to Alex Orozco, and before the meeting, and I'm already kind of settled with my thing that she's gonna take care of the problem that I was gonna discuss here.
Okay.
But if not, I will be here in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Hopefully not, because I know I've been taking a lot of your time for some petty
That's
things.
okay.
And you know what? They are important to me and important to you people, but I just don't really like coming in here all this time for something that it could be handled outside, But I appreciate you guys to take the time to hear me out on what I got to say. And I didn't want to leave because I had already turned in my slip. And I just want to at least say good evening and goodbye.
All right, well, thank you, sir.
But hopefully, like I said, hopefully she takes care of it and I don't have to come back in 2 weeks. If not, I will be here early.
Okay, well.
Okay, well, thank you very much. You enjoy
Thank you, and just know that if it's important to you, it's important to us. And Alex is a great administrative assistant, and I'm sure she'll be able to handle it, but if not, we'll be here.
What you just said, that's exactly what Mr. Henderson told me.
Okay.
And I appreciate it. Believe me, I do. Anything that you guys do for me, every time that I've been here, is well appreciated by me and other people, believe me.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next up is Louise Chow. Chow? I'm sorry, I hope I didn't pronounce that wrong.
Okay, well, hi, my name's Louise Chow, and I'm a volunteer for the City of Gardena Meals on Wheels program. And I came here tonight because I overheard a conversation about an employee on your staff, Lane Wakuda, whom I volunteer under. And what I heard was that he was working 37 hours a week, sometimes overtime, and he's considered part-time, so he receives no benefits. So I just went home, I was just thinking about this, and it really bothered me because I know that the mission statement of Gardena says that you provide leadership and resources that ensure the highest quality of life possible for residents, support business development, welcome visitors, and establish a positive work environment for city employees. So when I think of highest quality of life possible for residents and a positive work environment for city employees, it seems to me that providing benefits for one's employees seems like a very natural provision. So I just had a really hard time reconciling in my head how a city could employ somebody for 37 hours a week and sometimes overtime and pay no benefits, especially somebody as hardworking as Lane Wakuda, who oversees, I think many of you probably know him. He's just such a hard worker. He's just such a positive guy. And I also wanted to state he also grew up in Gardena. He lives in Gardena. He works in Gardena. He walks to work. So I shared some of my thoughts with my colleagues who volunteer and also with the senior citizens who come here for meals and the ones that I drive to on my route. And so I got here. I have more than 130 signatures that I just wanted to give to you. And I guess the point was, I think that everybody that I talked to kind of just felt it was really unfair. And I know it's not just Mr. Wakuda that works part-time. I know you have other really good employees here who work part-time. So I know you, as the Gardena City Council members who lead and guide the cities, you have the opportunity to make changes that could positively impact the lives of your own residents or employees. And for myself, for Mr. Wakuda, he has such an outstanding work record. The people I talk to, if they have a problem, he gets on it, he helps them, So anyway, I just thought, I came here because I believe you believe in this mission statement. So I just wanted to urge you, if you can find funds, I'd really urge you to please find money for benefits for your really hardworking, great employees here. So thank you.
Okay. You know what? I'd like to direct you to our HR person in the back, Ray. When you walk back, he'll raise his hand, and maybe he can explain a little bit the process of, full-time, part-time, in kind of more detail, and then...
Yeah, some of them did actually explain it to me, but I just still thought it was a good thing for your council to, consider, since your mission statement says it's highest quality of life possible for residents,
Right.
and you also provide a positive work environment. To me, it just benefits, to me, are such an important part of people's lives.
Right.
If somebody's working 37 hours a week, I'm not sure how they go find another job in their spare time to
Right.
get a job with benefits.
Right. No, and I totally understand. And I'm sure later on this evening, I'll make a directive to our city manager if he could kind of give a more detailed explanation of how that works as far as benefits for our full and part-time and what all it entails, and so on, so that way our council is educated. So I appreciate you bringing that to our attention, and we start there at that point.
Yeah,
Okay.
because what is it on the
And
federal?
I apologize, you've
Okay,
actually gone
sure.
beyond the time. I'm so sorry. I just have to be fair to everybody. But thank you. Thank you for bringing that to our attention there, and as well as the petition as well. And Ray's in the back if you'd like to, he's in charge of our HR, and maybe he can give you just a little bit more information as it relates to, right now, the practices of full, part-time, and so on. Okay? Thank you. Our next speaker is Puya Yosef.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Madam Mayor, esteemed council members. My name is Puya Youssef, and I am a business owner. I'm a business owner next door here, Evolution Auto Body. And the reason why I came out tonight was I wanted to express my desire, as well as my team members' desires, to become more involved in the community, kind of plant our roots in here. We felt, recently we felt very welcomed into the city. And I have a background in entrepreneurship. I have an Amazon business that's in Torrance, and we're involved in the community there. And I was hoping to see how I can work with the city to kind of leverage my resources and provide them to the city in any capacity that's available, whether that's city maintenance, vehicle maintenance, partnerships in outreach, or generating financial support for some of the programs that are out there. I just heard Meals on Wheels, and I thought that was very interesting. And we wanted to lend ourselves as a resource to the community. And so I just wanted to take a moment and hopefully be directed to the appropriate person that can help us do that and really build a name in the community and kind of pave a new way for Evolution.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I'm going to direct you to Ms. Stephanie Santine back there, and she can tell you how you can be involved and help out some of our great programs that we have. And as you go back to your seat, she'll raise her hand, and I'm sure she'll be happy to take a check or something, so.
I appreciate your time. Have a great night.
All right, thank you so much, sir. We appreciate your business here in our community. Next up is Andrea Simmental.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and members of City Council. I'm Andrea Simmental, the Community Library Manager at Gardena Mamie Deer Library, and I'm here to make announcement about upcoming programs at both Gardena and Misao W. Sato Libraries. The 45th Annual Bookmark Contest will begin August 19th and runs through October 5th. The Bookmark Contest encourages a love of books and reading while promoting creativity, artistic expression, and community engagement. We invite youth from kindergarten through 12th grade to design a bookmark and compete with others in their age category for a chance to see their bookmark design printed and distributed across LA County. Bookmark contest entry forms are available at the library starting August 19th. At Gardena Library on Thursday, August 15th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., we have a free vaccine clinic. LA County Department of Public Health is providing free school readiness vaccines for kids and COVID-19 vaccines for all ages. For children, the next 6-week session of Smarty Pants Storytime begins on August 30th. Join us Fridays at 10:15 a.m. Enjoy books, songs, rhymes, and movement while learning school readiness skills, and that's for ages 2 to 5 with their parent and caregiver. Please join us after Storytime for Parent Cafes, an opportunity to chat with other caregivers and gather parenting tips from a P Positive Parenting Program accredited librarian, and that's for ages 2 to 5 with their parent or caregiver. For adults, Make a Medallion is on Wednesday, August 21st from 5:30 to 6:30. Celebrate the conclusion of the Olympics by creating a medallion out of clay. And Find Your Zen takes place on Thursday, August 29th from 10:15 a.m. to 11:15 a.m. Join us for our monthly non-denominational Zen meditation workshop. And at Misao W. Sato Library, Smarty Pants Story Time takes place on Tuesdays from 3 to 3:30 p.m. And after story time, join us for parent cafes, and that's for ages 2 to 5 with their parent or caregiver. And Play and Explore is on Friday, September 13th from 11 to 11:30. And join us for a morning of play and curiosity. Help children learn social and emotional skills and develop fine and gross motor skills and enjoy a unique family bonding experience, and that's for ages 0 to 4 with their caregivers. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Paul Randall.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, City Council, staff, and residents. Paul Randall, you guys know who I am. Great having the dogs here. Can I recommend we have them every time? Mama Rosa's Food Pantry opened August the 3rd. We had received in 1 week 10,000 pounds of food. It was a very limited opening. I'm just saying it's very limited because we only had 109 walk-ups. Total household serve was 403. Our major difficulty was getting these boxes that weighed 24 pounds into their carts, their walkers, or their wheelchairs. It was difficult. The boxes were full of fresh produce, meat, canned goods, and bread. I know that she's sitting back there. She doesn't know I'm going to say anything, but she's arranging for everybody to get 2 loaves of bread next time, and that's my wife. She's already obtained 9,000 pounds. I will recall Councilwoman Love stated nothing is ever free. Someone has to pay. We lost our grant from LA Regional Food Bank that paid for all the delivery fees. At this moment, we will be charged all the delivery fees. We're looking at between $7,000 and $10,000 per year. We reached out to Holly Mitchell's staff and we were denied a grant. So we're looking for grants. If anybody knows anyone, please forward me the information. This was a cost that we did not expect. August the 6th, the city of Gardena had a great event. That was the Dodger game. I was notified at 6:50 p.m. that the Gardena residents were parking in our parking lot, and the people were leaving and needed to secure the parking lot. Again, I didn't know about it. Contacted the chief. Wonderful Gardena PD secured our parking lot. We're not asking for a permit or a fee. Just let us know if you guys need to use our parking lot. We will be accommodating in any way. We just need to secure the property as long as it's not interference. In closing, congratulations, Mayor Pro Tem. I want to say something that I've noticed for 6 to 9 months that I've been here. We have a chief of police, Chef L. You saw him tonight. He was so proud of the dogs, the officers. He does a fantastic job. I have seen him in text messages late at night, early in the mornings. I think he's on duty 24/7. Is there anything?
Go ahead, just real quick.
He's doing a wonderful job. He's involved with the community. Is there anything we can do for him? I know he's standing back there, and I got to walk through him when I leave.
We tell him how great he is every time we see him.
But
thank you for recognizing him. We do appreciate that.
not only me, the community.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have Maureen Neal.
Okay. Good evening, City Council members. I'm here tonight to petition for a traffic light. So I'm Maureen Neal. I've been a resident in Gardena since 2008. I live south of Vermont on 131, the second house from the corner of 131 in Vermont. So since I've been a resident at this property, there have been several car crashes at this same corner. The last one was August 1st. So there was a driver. His name was Pedro. I talked to him, asked him to come tonight, but I don't think he was able to come. Anyway, he was coming south. Another vehicle was coming westbound, the other side of 131, and crashed into Pedro. I requested the accident records from 2008. It says there were 7. I'm inclined to believe that there are a few more that happened there. And I noticed that there was an accident before 2024 that wasn't there. And that one was really bad. That one, a car ran into another car, ran through the wrought iron fence of the property on the corner and almost into the guy's house. The one on August 1, I think could have been avoided if we could get a traffic light there, because I'm sure Pedro was minding his own business, just going down the street, and this other guy just comes barreling down and just comes straight across, not even paying attention. Also, I notice a lot of drivers that come from the 110 freeway, they make the left on El Segundo. Even the ones that come past Helen Keller Park, they drive at a really fast speed. Even if it's day or night, doesn't matter. So I'm here to petition for that. And I wanted to know, who do I partner with? What's the process, et cetera?
So I'm actually going to turn you over to the chief here, and he can tell you the process and explain traffic studies and petitions and all that stuff like that, how long it takes, and you know, if the traffic study is warranted, I mean, how all of that's warranted. So he can explain in more detail the process of that and kind of go from there.
Okay, because I know they have one at 133 and 140th. I don't think there's that many crashes at that one as it is at 131 in Vermont.
He can explain the process of how, you know, what it takes to get a light, what warranted, again, through the traffic study and so on. And I don't know, he may piggyback off our Public Works Director. I don't know. So you might hear from both of them. But the chief's in the back, and you can leave it with our clerk here, actually.
Well,
and that way
I got it from here, so.
and that way we have it as part of our record here, that you were here.
All right. Thank you.
City of LA? Okay. Thank you again. Okay, back to the agenda here. Departmental items, number 16A, Mr. City Manager.
Mayor Serta, members of the City Council, agenda item 16A is to authorize the transfer agreement renewal between the LA County Flood Control District and the City of Gardena pertaining to Safe Clean Water Program, otherwise known as Measure W. On October 9, 2017, Assembly Bill AB 1180 was signed into law, which amended the LA County Flood Control Act and authorized the district to levy a tax to pay the costs and expenses of carrying out projects and programs to increase stormwater capture and reduce stormwater and urban runoff pollution in districts subject to voter approval. AB 1180 was then amended into Measure W and was approved by LA County voters on November 6, 2018. Funding is to be provided through a partial tax of 2.5 cents per square foot of impermeable land areas, and in Gardena is anticipated to receive approximately $820,000 per fiscal year. The prior transfer agreement expired on June 30, 2024. The LA County Department of Public Works now requires a renewal and distributed the template for the next term of the municipal transfer agreement on July 15, 2024, following the expiration of the existing agreement. This agreement, to be implemented between the county and the municipality, outlines the requirements for the annual plan, the general terms and conditions, nature-based solutions, or NBS, best management practices, and operations and maintenance guidance to maintain funding eligibility. The city's annual plan is to be submitted no later than 90 days before the start of each subsequent fiscal year, which was April 1st. Audit reports are due 9 months after the end of each 3-year period, and progress reports are due annually 6 months after the close of the fiscal year. Staff recommends the City Council authorize the Director of Public Works to execute a transfer agreement between LA County Flood Control District and the City of Gardena pertaining to the Safe Clean Water Program, also known as Measure W, in a form approved by the City Attorney. This agreement is to expire at the end of the fiscal year 27-28.
Okay, thank you. Madam City Clerk, do we have anybody from the public wishing to speak on this item?
No, we do not, Madam Mayor.
Does any okay, thank you. Does any member of the council have any questions or comments on this item here?
I have a
Okay,
Ms.
Councilmember
O'Neill.
Francis.
Okay, so at our last council meeting, if I'm not mistaken, rescue me if I'm wrong, we talked about the storm drain master plan. I'm trying to figure out, how does this tie into that, or does it? Or does it have anything to do with, one thing have to do with the other, or?
Yes, thank you. Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council. One of the funding sources that we're using for our storm drain master plan is the Measure W. Okay. So the Measure W recently has funded 3 main programs. One is the storm drain master plan. Mm-hmm. The second is the consultant that does all our stormwater compliance monitoring and enforcement. And the third is a project which is pretty exciting, although you don't see it, which is we're just wrapping up installing, I think it's 800 catch basin inserts. So at each catch basin, there's a basket with a channel along the entrance to the catch basin. So as water flows into the catch basin, it's directed to the basket. All the debris goes into that basket, and then twice a year, we have a consultant or a contractor who's also paid for by Measure W goes and cleans out those baskets. So it's for the stormwater quality. So that's how we've been using those funds. And yes, it does fund the storm drain master plan.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? If not, can I get a motion to authorize the transfer agreement renewal?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam City Clerk, there was a motion made by Councilmember Francis and a second by Councilmember Henderson. Will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Francis?
Yes.
Councilmember Henderson?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Tanaka?
Yes.
Councilmember Love? Mayor Serta?
Yes. Next up is item number 16B. Mr. City Manager.
Mayor Serta, members of the City Council, agenda item 16B is to authorize the purchase 3 heavy equipment vehicles from Quinn Company in the amount of $593,712.75 for the Public Works Department and sell current equipment at estimated residual value. The wheel loader, backhoe loader, and tractor are used on a daily basis for day-to-day operations by the Public Works Department. All 3 equipment are over 15 years old, and parts are not available for repair. The equipment is also not able to pass a smog check. In addition, the equipment is not able to be retrofitted to the State of California AQMD standards. Zero-emission vehicles are not available for purchase. The current vehicles can be sold for the estimated residual value of a cumulative $110,000 to out-of-state end users. Other states have less stringent air quality standards, and the equipment has much more value there. The quotes received for the 3 vehicles were obtained from Sourcewell number 020223-CAT that other municipalities have used to negotiate the best prices. Gardena Ordinance Number 1780 and Gardena Purchasing Policy APP 2018-003, Section B, permit contracts using cooperative and quote-unquote piggyback agreements. The 3 equipment, the wheel loader, is the new purchase price is $263,532.02. The out-of-state residual value is $50,000. The backhoe loader is $189,782.97. The out-of-state equipment resale value is $30,000, and the tractor is $140,397.76. Also, the residual value is $30,000. Total is $593,712.75. Total equipment residual value is $110,000. Staff recommends that City Council approve the purchase of the wheel loader, backhoe loader, and tractor from Quinn Company in the amount of $593,712.75 and sell their current equipment out of state. This will be paid by gas tax funds from fiscal year 24-25, and what's required tonight is approve, purchase, and sell current equipment. I believe we have a brief presentation or pictures.
Yes, good evening again, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council. To reiterate what the City Manager indicated, this is not something that we want to do. It's something that we have to do. At the end of this calendar year, these 3 pieces of equipment will no longer be able to legally operate in the state of California due to the AQMD rules. And so we're forced into this. Just a little show and tell. The current wheel loader, the piece of equipment, they're virtually the same as what we have now. One of the reasons we're purchasing them from Quinn is that Quinn bought Caterpillar. So that's why you see that the purchase orders are from them. So this is our current wheel loader. You see it's almost exactly the same as the new wheel loader. The wheel loader is used for is our largest piece of equipment. It's used for the removal of large pieces of concrete. We use it for large dumps, illegal dumps out in the public right-of-way. So dirt, debris, concrete. It is a big vehicle. Probably the most valuable use for this is in an emergency. This would be our go-to. We have an earthquake, we have a building failure, we have something where we need to move large amounts of equipment. I know years ago we used our current one before we ended up with the police department's armored vehicle to break into a building because it's large and it can fit into many situations that are difficult. The next lower piece of equipment that we're purchasing is the backhoe. This is our current backhoe. It is a workhorse. It's used especially the back arm. That could be retrofitted into a concrete breaker. There's all sorts of different items that we can attach to that. And again, it's essentially the same piece of equipment, but compliant with AQMD. We did look into electric vehicles. They're just simply not available at this scale yet for our use. We would much rather be using those. And then finally, the current tractor. This is a small, it's bigger than a Bobcat, but much smaller than the loader. We use this, primarily we use this in the yard a lot for loading the dumpster. When the guys pick up the debris from the field, they dump it next to the dumpster. We use it to pick that up. We also use this for small cleanups when the loader is just too big. So I just wanted to let you know, again, it's not something that we want to do. The high value, residual value of these pieces of equipment is compared to, let's say, a contractor that would use these 8 hours a day, we only use them a couple hours a day. So the mileage on the hours on the engine is low on all these engines, so that's why they're so valuable out of state where they don't have the stringent AQMD rules. And finally, this is from gas tax funds, so it is all restricted funding. Nothing's coming out of the general fund in order to fund these. And that's what I had to present. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Madam City Clerk, do we have anybody from the public wishing to speak on this item?
No, Madam Mayor, we do not.
Okay, does any member of the council have any questions or comments? Councilmember Henderson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mr. City Manager, Mr. Rigg, as far as the 110K in revenue, which fund does that go back to, the gas tax or just general fund? Just was curious.
It would have to go back to gas tax. Any proceeds would have to go back to the original funding source.
Okay, thank you. That was it.
Any other questions or comments? If not, can I get a motion to approve the purchase and sell the current equipment?
So move.
Is there a second? Okay, Madam City Clerk, there was a motion made by Councilmember Henderson and a second by Mayor Pro Tem Tanaka. Will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Henderson,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Tanaka,
Yes.
Councilmember Francis,
Yes.
Councilmember Love,
Yes.
Mayor Serta.
Yes. Next up is item number 18A. Mr. City Manager?
Mayor Serta, members of the City Council, the agenda item 18A is to approve contract with Clean Energy for the operations and maintenance of G-Trans's CNG facility for $775,020 and a project total of $852 and $522. G-Trans has recently completed construction of its compressed natural gas of CNG fueling station and infrastructure upgrades. With its completion, G-Trans is now able to fuel and maintain 39 CNG buses on site. Previously, we were filling up in different places throughout the South Bay. The maintenance of the CNG fueling station itself is essential for the operation of the bus fleet and to maintain the warranty and all subsystem and parts of the station. The maintenance and repair of the fuel station and all its related systems is highly specialized work. As such, G-Trans wishes to hire Clean Energy, who built the CNG station, to provide all staff and resources necessary to maintain the fuel station in a state of good repair. Clean Energy has a unique understanding of G-Trans's requirements, as it is the firm that designed and built the G-Trans station and those of many local transit agencies. The contract includes all labor, materials, and equipment necessary to maintain and repair the fuel station and the related equipment. The contract also includes remote monitoring software system, which allows the state of the CNG fueling station to be continuously monitored 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year by the Clean Energy Command Center. Fault errors can be corrected remotely, and a technician can immediately travel to the site if the system goes down and needs repair. Similarly, Clean Energy's national warehouse is in Carson, California, which stocks critical parts and consumables, making for short lead times for any repairs or spare parts needed for G-Transit station. Clean Energy's proposal is for a 1-year base contract with 4 one-year options. Their proposal maintains a monthly fixed fee of $12,917 for the entire base and option years of the contract as outlined in your staff report. The total for the base year and the 4 one-year options is $775,020. G-Trans would also like to include a 10% contingency or $77,502 to accommodate any unforeseen expenditures that may arise. Such expenditures would not be allowed unless agreed upon and approved in advance by G-Trans management. G-Trans has reviewed the pricing and determined it to be fair and reasonable. It is recommended that the City Council authorize a contract with Clean Energy for a base year with 4 one-year options at a 5-year cost of $775,020, plus an additional 10% contingency of $77,502, as required for a total of $852,522. G-Trans has allocated funding in the fiscal year 25-26 operating budget for this service. If exercised, the cost of subsequent years of the agreement will be included in future budgets for council consideration, and there is no impact to the general fund. What is required tonight is to approve the contract.
Okay, thank you. Madam City Clerk, do we have anybody from the public wishing to speak on this item?
No, Madam Mayor, we do not.
Do we have any member of the public, any member of the council that wishes to speak on this item? I have questions.
I do, Madam Mayor.
Okay, Councilmember Francis.
Okay, so I guess, so we're moving the entire fleet to a CG, but I thought we were going to be doing electric vehicles as well. So I'm guessing kind of, what is the end going to look like when we finish? Because we have 39 buses, so we're going to remove all the.
So, Director Crespo, would you speak of?
I'm sorry.
Would you speak of the current allocation as far as how many electric buses we have, CNG buses, and hybrids currently?
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. So a few years ago, our council authorized us to move towards an 80-20 plan, which was 80% CNG and 20% electric. So we finally are at that point. We started about 5 years ago when we started building and putting money together, and so now we're at that point where we're gone away from gasoline. So now we're CNG, a very, very reliable fuel that's been around for years, and then we're now into 20% electric.
It's a lot cleaner than gas. That's one of the benefits of it. Is that in terms of?
That is correct. It is CNG is cleaner than gasoline.
And thank you for refreshing my memory. I was trying to figure that one out. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Okay. If not, can I get a motion to approve the contract with Clean Energy?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Madam City Clerk, there was a motion made by Councilmember Francis and a second by Councilmember Henderson. Will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Francis.
Yes.
Councilmember Henderson.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Tanaka.
Yes.
Councilmember Love.
Yes.
Mayor Serta.
Yes. Next up is item number 18B. Mr. City Manager.
Mayor Serta, members of the City Council, agenda item 18B is approved contract with Clean Energy again for the purchase of renewable natural gas, or RNG, and credit management services. G-Trans has recently completed construction of its CNG station, as we've heard, and is now able to fuel and maintain 39 CNG buses on site. This is part of his effort to utilize renewable energy and eliminate greenhouse gas emissions. G-Trans's plan included sourcing RNG for use at its new fueling station and receive eligible federal and state of California credits for using green energy. RNG is a biogas that has been recycled and upgraded to a quality similar to fossil natural gas and can be used for end-use applications, including fueling natural gas vehicles. Unlike conventional natural gases, RNG is not a fossil fuel and does not involve drilling. Instead, it is derived from the breakdown of organic matter from solid waste landfills, livestock farms, food production facilities, and organic waste management operations. Biogas is captured and extracted from these sources, processed and purified to standards to become biomethane, and then entered into pipelines to be delivered locally to fueling stations. Using RNG as a fuel source will help G-Trans maintain its commitment to sustainability, reducing carbon emissions, and improving the environment for our community. As RNG provides environmental benefits, the U.S. EPA and California Air Resources Board, or CARB, have incentivized the development of RNG production facilities and the use of RNG itself through programs such as the Renewable Fuel Standards, or RFS, and Low Carbon Fuel Standard, or LCFS, respectively. When G-Trans uses qualifying RNG fuel to power its vehicles, G-Trans will generate credits from both programs, which is RIN credits and LCFS credits, which then can be monetized or sold to obligated parties such as oil refineries, who must purchase credits to offset the greenhouse gas emissions they produce. These credits are sold in a market-based system where credit values fluctuate daily. The process to obtain credits requires comprehensive reporting, multiple contractual agreements, hiring brokers or credit clearance markets, and detailed record-keeping for verifications and audits. This RNG credit management work requires constant observation and in-depth knowledge of the market, and G-Trans needs a qualified firm who can provide the service on its behalf. G-Trans wishes to hire Clean Energy to provide both RNG commodity supply and associated credit management services. Since its inception in 1996, Clean Energy fueled over 9,000 transit vehicles with approximately 90 million gallons of RNG and CNG annually, and their California customers include LA Metro, Foothill Transit, Long Beach Transit, Santa Monica Big Blue Bus, and Gold Coast Transit. They have one of the largest RNG supply portfolios available, with over 100 active and in-development projects at dairy farms, wastewater treatment facilities, and landfills nationwide, which will ensure that G-Trans will always have an uninterrupted source of RNG commodity and a guaranteed financial settlement. Also, Clean Energy has dedicated division that handles all associated administrative and regulatory requirements of RNG process and credits, and they will handle all compliance obligations on G-Trans's behalf. Clean Energy's proposal is for a 2-year base contract with 3 one-year options. The RNG commodity will be provided by Clean Energy, but G-Trans will receive the physical RNG delivery through SoCalGas pipeline and will pay SoCalGas directly for the RNG quantity used as part of its utility bill. In terms of the RNG credit management services, Clean Energy will handle RIN LCFS credit sales on G-Trans's behalf. Clean Energy will take a share of the revenue generated from the credit sales. The remaining revenue of 10% RIN and 60% LCFS will be paid to G-Trans on a monthly for RIN and quarterly for LCFS basis. Estimation for each payment is subject to market conditions and actual fueling volumes, but G-Trans will be earning revenue as we continue to use RNG and earn credits. It is recommended that the City Council authorize contracts with Clean Energy for RNG commodity supply to be delivered to G-Trans through SoCalGas pipeline, and as well as for RIN and LCFS credit management services that will bring another source of revenue to G-Trans to support its operations. Financial impact: G-Trans has allocated funding for the RNG commodity supply in the fiscal year 25-26 operating budgets. Subsequent years will be included in future budgets for council consideration. The revenue generated through the credit management service is not included in the budget due to the market volatility. There is no impact to the general fund. What is required is to approve the contract.
Okay. Do you have a video, I believe, on this one?
You guys would like to see one?
Okay, go ahead. You go ahead and play it. I was just told there was a video.
Okay. Good evening. There's we have a short, cute video that Clean Energy has put together. That it's 3 minutes that explains what RNG is.
Excuse me, can I possibly interview you guys? I have one question. Do you know what RNG stands for?
RNG?
Is it like LOL? RNG? RNG.
Do you know what RNG stands for?
Random number generator?
Sounds like a fashion line or a fragrance.
He played for Washington in like 2010. He was a quarterback.
That's good. Robert Griffin III, RG3.
I'm sorry, that's RG3.
Is there like a hint?
All right. So it's 3 words.
Okay, obviously. I'd say race and gender. Oh, wait, that sounds so good.
RNG, that sounds like could be a music genre.
RNG stands for Renewable Natural Gas. It's a low-carbon fuel for heavy-duty trucks, city buses, and waste collection vehicles. But you may be wondering, what is RNG exactly? And how is it different from regular natural gas? On a chemical level, they're exactly the same. And that's a good thing, because it means we can use the existing natural gas infrastructure to distribute RNG to fueling stations nationwide. What makes RNG different is the source. RNG is made entirely from organic waste. Because it doesn't involve drilling or fracking, it is not a fossil fuel. When organic matter decomposes, it naturally releases methane, one of the greenhouse gases most detrimental to the environment. That's why places with large quantities of waste, like landfills and livestock farms, are responsible for nearly a quarter of methane emissions in the U.S. As a major producer of RNG, Clean Energy partners with dairies across the country to capture their on-farm methane emissions. Here's how it works. Cow manure is first collected and placed into a large tank called a digester. As the manure decomposes, the digester traps the methane, preventing it from entering and damaging the atmosphere. It's then processed and purified into RNG and dropped into the interstate pipeline system for rapid distribution to clean energy fueling stations nationwide. What makes RNG such a powerful tool in the fight against climate change is that RNG reduces carbon emissions both at the source where it's made and on the road. When paired with the latest Cummins X15N engine, heavy-duty trucks can have the same power, torque, and range as diesel trucks, while also eliminating carbon emissions by up to 300%. As an affordable, renewable fuel that's available now, RNG is the perfect climate solution for both the dairy and transportation industry.
Do you possibly know what RNG stands for?
Wasn't that a rapper in the 90s? He sang that like Regulators song.
That's close. It's a warrangy.
Clean energy, shifting carbon into reverse.
Okay.
So now I think everyone hopefully knows what RNG is. There will be a quiz at the end of the night. But I'm here to answer any questions that
Okay.
you may or may not have.
Okay, Madam City Clerk, do we have anybody from the public wishing to speak?
No, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Does any member of the council have any questions or comments? No? Okay, we don't. Okay, that being said, can I get a motion to, you have something else?
I just like one comment, if
Okay.
possible. I just wanted to give recognition to staff members that came and have been. Rachel, you please stand up. She was the contract manager for this project and kept them in line. And without her work and due diligence, keeping Clean Energy in line, we wouldn't be here today. So
Director Crespo, as the city attorney, I work closely with Ms. Yu on this project. It was a very long project, very tedious. They're a tough negotiator, but I feel that the city got exactly the terms that we wanted. And I do have to commend Ms. Yu in the patience and follow. She's did a great job on this work, and I can tell you that from a contracts perspective.
Thank you.
All right, wow.
And then I'd also like to take a moment to recognize Victor Santos, who's our facility and maintenance manager. And he was in the trenches with the vendors. And because of his leadership and sweat and some tears sometimes, the project was finalized. We also had I wouldn't say a privilege, but unique opportunity where we had to build this also during COVID, right? And so this project lasted a while, and without his due diligence and expertise, also was an asset to get us to this point. So again, thank you, Victor, for everything you've done, and Rachel.
All right. Thank you guys both. Okay, that being said, can I get a motion to approve the contract? Is there a second? Okay, Madam City Clerk, there was a motion made by Councilmember Francis and a second by Mayor Pro Tem Tanaka. Will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Francis.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Tanaka.
Yes.
Councilmember Henderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Love.
Yes.
Mayor Serta.
Yes. Okay, so next up is council directives. Does any member of the council have any directives at this time? We'll start on this end and come down. Directives. Okay, Councilmember Love?
I would like to make a directive for staff to consider checking into revising the no dogs in the park ban. The purpose of the directive is to remove the ban to allow our residents to have dogs to be able to use our parks. The reason why the directive is warranted is because several residents have asked me about allowing the dogs in the park. And the benefit of this directive is to legally allow the dogs in the park.
Okay. Were we already working on this? Was that supposed to come back or no? No? Okay. Was there a second on that?
Second it.
Okay. So there, Madam City Clerk, motion was made by Councilmember Love and seconded by Councilmember Francis. Okay. All right. If there are no other directives here, we'll move on to City Manager remarks regarding previous directives. I believe you have a video as well. Do you have a ramp up before your video, or I don't know? Well, whatever you like to do.
Good afternoon, Gardena! That's what I'm talking about there. Welcome to Gardena's National Night Out, aka Summer Block Party. Are you guys having a good time?
So Jackie.
I am so happy to be here. This is such a great event. And can we give a round of applause to City of Gardena for hosting this event? Isn't it amazing?
Gardena is that kind of city where people love and respect each other, and I know that you're setting an example for other parts in this county. Thank you very much.
All right, everybody, be safe. Good night. And we'll see you soon.
The reason why I didn't even introduce that is because it needed no introduction. I believe there's over 1,000 folks that came out, highly successful. My counterparts from different cities are getting angry at me. I'm
Angry,
not doing it by
jealous.
myself. This is the community, the chief of police, the city council that put this together. So congratulations to the community, to you, the police department, all of the departments we have. Recreation and Human Services did a wonderful job putting this together. So thank you for everybody. Round of applause. And the other memos that I wanted to mention as well, I sent out a memo to the City Council regarding the demo phase. We had a couple of questions, really good questions from a couple council members. I wanted to address some of those questions with response, and we have some pictures and whatnot that's in the memo to explain exactly how the demo worked. And I believe we drove by today. They're in the middle of cleaning off some of the debris and getting it out. They're still watering the location to minimize the dust. I went out there today. There's not much dust. I mean, there's a lot of water being sprayed out, but not much dust. Also gave a memo on the draft EIR, or Environmental Impact Report, for 1450 Artesia specific plan. You received the reorganization of assignments, and then the new rental assistance program that we have in the city. We've received a number of applications already, so this memo really explained the guidelines and the qualifications and whatnot for this rental assistance program. Other than that, Madam Mayor, that ends my report. I just want to mention, greet a happy birthday to our city clerk.
Okay.
Mina Semenza.
Thank you.
You've already mentioned your birthday in the previous council meeting, so do we have cake? We have cake.
We
I
always
believe
have
we have
cake.
cake.
We always have cake.
Stay after, we'll have cake.
Nobody leave. We have
Thank
cake
you.
tonight. Okay, we're going to move on to council remarks here. We're going to begin tonight with Councilmember Henderson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Since our last meeting, I was honored to do the greeting at the Citizens Leadership Academy. So for those that are missing out, this is our third class. Citizens Leadership Academy is an opportunity for our community to get well-versed in what we do in this community as far as our city departments and everything. So that was great. I attended some business meetings and some community meetings. I was participating in a kind of informal meeting with LA County in regards to sustainability. Participated in a seminar in regards to further use of AI in government. So I'm going to challenge our staff to start looking into that. I attended the Quake Hero Expo this past Saturday and looked at the film in regards to the Northridge earthquake that happened. I guess that was 95 and everything. So that was a great thing. I also attended our employee mixer, and I want to, from the bottom of my heart, just have a chance to, thank our staff, thank the city manager in regards to the responsiveness and the acumen of the staff that we have here at Gardena City Council. Every time I talk to somebody in a different function and everything, and I share the knowledge that they share with me, with other colleagues in other communities and everything, they're like, hey, where'd you learn about that? And I'm like, I just talked to staff and everything like that. So I definitely encourage folks, if you have a question, our staff is very available, and I'm talking to the community, very available. If you have a question, just submit your question and somebody will get back to you. So I want the staff to know that they have support from Councilman Henderson in regards to what you do and continue to do what you do and make us all smarter up here. I also participated in a international conference with some folks across the pond over in England in regards to the Independent Cities Association and kind of what we do as 40 cities in the county. And they wanted to know what my vision was going to be for our 40 cities moving forward. And I told them I'm developing that vision a little more. I'm going to talk to my e-board this week, and we're going to figure out what we need to do. I can kind of give you a preliminary understanding that my tenure this time is going to be more about inclusion and diversity and equity for all our LA County cities to make sure everybody's voices are heard equally. And Madam Mayor, that ends my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next up is Mayor Pro Tem Tanaka.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Since our last, it's going to be short because of where I've been. But Councilmember Henderson, you make a great presentation about our employee quarterly mixer. It's really a great event because all of our directors and their departments get together and they have a great time interacting with other departments. Plus, we showcase our new employees and those that have been promoted within that time frame. So it really does show that we are a family, and I believe that the new employees and those that belong to this city feel that they are a part of us and that we do things that a family does. I attended the California City's LA Division Installation of Officers. It was at the Santa Anita Racetrack, and congratulations to Arcadia Mayor Dr. Cow. It was a really great event because I've never been in that portion of Santa Anita. I think it was where all the high rollers hang out. It was pretty nice. Let's see, I've been reelected as the RCC board chair for my third term, so thank you very much to RCC. And lastly, I'm the president of our Guardian Kiwanis Club, and somebody had to take one for the team, so I went to our district training in Kona, Hawaii. I just got back this morning at 1 a.m. But anybody looking to be in a service club, look us up. That is my
Struggles of going to Hawaii. Okay. Okay, thank you. Next up is Councilmember Love.
Since our last meeting, I attended the city's candlelight dinner for the seniors. I attended the very interesting country bash. It was good to see a lot of the residents come out and dance to the country music. I attended the MLK Tea Party fundraiser. I attended the amazing National Night Out. You know, I tell people that I was with some Long Beach police officers, and they didn't believe that we have the largest in the South Bay. And finally, I attended Holly Mitchell's school supply giveaway, where she gave away laptops, iPads, and lots of resources and backpacks. Oh, and I also attended Steve Bradford's school supply giveaway over at Compton College this past weekend. That ends my report.
Okay. For myself, since the last council meeting, I too also attended the Citizen Leadership Academy. And for those residents who are watching this meeting now, if you want to learn more about Gardena, this is a great way to do it. We're already, I think, in our second class right now, but the third class, this is the third meeting of the second group of folks doing it. So it's our second group. Okay, thank you. But if you'd like to learn more about, city government, how things work, consider signing up for the next class starting. We have a great group of directors that love explaining about all the departments. I had the pleasure of hearing about Public Works. I thought I knew everything, but my colleague and I, we learned some things the other day about Public Works. But it's just a great way for the community to come out, kind of get informed, know the process, relating to, I don't know why we do certain things in our city, and why isn't it done faster? There's a process to everything. So this was the second time I had the opportunity within the past 2 weeks to attend one of the Citizens Leadership Academy. But I just want to tell our staff, you guys are doing an amazing job presenting that to our community. I also attended the Quarterly Mixer Group, and I know my colleagues have said it already about what a great job, it is having that. But one of the things that stood out for me was that some of our employees that were promoted to their new positions here, it was just really nice hearing their directors talk a little bit about their background and how great of an employee they were. And I said, you know what, that's really nice, because those new people who are coming to work for the city now they could see that, we really appreciate our employees here. And so I just want to commend all of you guys for not only saying a little something about their background, but just talking about how great these employees are and how they benefit Gardena. And so thank you guys for just adding that extra little part to it. I also attended LA County Fire Department's 2024 Lifeguards Medal of Valor. That's something I usually go to every year. It was at Seaside Lagoon. I'm not Seaside Lagoon. It was in Hermosa Beach this year. And, always a great event. And lifeguards are folks that a lot of times I think we overlook. They're part of our fire department. But what I think is so unique about our lifeguards out there, male or female, these people are out there saving lives almost with no equipment. And, unlike maybe our police officers and firemen, and not that I'm taking anything away from them, these guys have to rely on their strength to be able to run through sand, swim out to a victim, rescue the person, bring them back in, do CPR, and go back to their station and get ready for the next person to save. And that takes so much endurance. So I'm always very proud to represent the city of Gardena and just commend our lifeguards for always doing an amazing job. I also attended what was this? This was a recognition from one of our residents for our police department for just the amazing job that they do year round. One of our residents were nice enough to provide lunch for our officers, and just their way of thanking them, because a lot of times we may say thank you, but it's just always nice when somebody takes that time to bring them lunch and say, you know what? You know what, we really appreciate what you do. And this was all that everybody in the departments, Detective Bureau, the patrol guys, everybody. And so I know our employees enjoyed that. I also attended the Quake Heroes Expo. That was this last Saturday, and how ironic was it that we just had an earthquake? So that being said, I hope that everybody considers going to the next expo that we have. Also consider becoming, doing the CERT training as well, because those members who are CERT certified, you feel a lot more confident as far as what to do in the event of an earthquake, especially had this been the big one. Lastly, I just want to mention National Night Out. You know, every year we have it, it's great, but it seems like it just keeps getting better and better. And for me, one of the things that I really enjoy about National Night Out is I love watching right before the event starts. I like watching all the departments come together, Public Works, Parks and Rec, PD, all the departments out there, and they just move just simultaneously, just making this happen. And, you know, all of our other departments, if you're not moving something, you're setting up tables there. So whether it's code enforcement through community development, our city clerk's office, Public Works, G-Trans, everybody has a role in that. And it is just really, to me, exciting to watch what I call the pre-show before we actually have our national night out. And of course, as you can see from the pictures, it was amazing. And in the past, I've actually shown videos from last year's National Night Out, not only to other cities, but I actually have a friend of mine who's a king in another country, and they actually said, I would like to come to Gardena and see what it's all about because your videos look so amazing for the event. So with that being said, I want to tell you guys, continue doing what you're doing. Our community appreciated it, and it seemed like it was more than 1,000 people. I estimate probably 2,500, but I don't know, I'm not good with numbers. But again, thank you guys for what you do. It was awesome. Everybody was talking about it. So with that ends my report. And next up is Councilmember Francis.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Since our last meeting, I attended the Greater Los Angeles Veteran Control District meeting. I attended Senator Steve Bradford's backpack giveaway. The Summer Block Party, National Night Out was an excellent program, and I'd like to thank Congresswoman Maxine Waters for attending our night out, and she commented that this was by far the largest event night out that within the South Bay. So congratulations, and thank you for everybody that came out. Also attended the Empire Youth Summit at Raleigh Park. That was a very nice event. It was nice seeing. I was really proud of our young people who came together to talk about anxiety and how to navigate through life. And it was an excellent presentation. I hope they'll be able to come back and do it again. Attended a Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Coach Committee meeting. I attended a fatherhood conference hosted by Assemblymember Mike Gibson over at Dominguez Hills, well attended. Very, very great conference. And, you know, we talk about moms a lot, but sometimes the role that dads play in the lives of our children and our families sometimes goes unnoticed. But just know, after this conference, you know, fatherhood is key to successful families. I also attended Earthquake Heroes and saw part of the Heroes film and the Earthquake Expo, and I echo Mayor Serta's comments about it, how ironic it was that a few days later we had our own earthquake right here. So I want to encourage you, if you haven't done it already, you know, prepare for earthquake, because it's not a matter of if it's coming, it's just a matter of when it's coming. So prepare, you know, make sure you have water on hand and food, and you know the resources that are available, because it has been said that should the big one hit, we are going to be on our own for at least 3 days. So you should be able to take care of yourself for at least 3 days. But not here in Gardena, of course, we're going to be just fine. But I did our Hats and Pearl fundraiser for the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Culture Committee, and we presented 3 scholarships, Arthur Johnson scholarships named for the founder of our committee. We presented 3 high school students with scholarships, and I'd like to thank Councilmember Love and Mayor Serta, for attending and supporting us. I also attended the AC Green Leadership Academy Awards Program, and I'm sure I'm leaving something out, but I was there. I can't attend a lot of the events during the school year because I teach in a lot of times, if it's in the daytime, and I got to work, so it's in my contract. I can't, you know, supersede one for the other. But no, I'm there in spirit and supporting you all the way. And as always, stay faithful and just know better days are coming. That concludes my remarks.
Okay, thank you. So a couple of the announcements that we have coming up. On Sunday, August the 11th, we have our co-ed youth flag football clinics. This will happen at Freeman Park, August 27th through the 30th. This is for grades 1st and 2nd, 3rd and 4th, 5th and 6th. If you'd like to register, you can go to our city website, and which is www.cityofgardena.org/events. Actually, that's an email. No, I'm sorry, our website. Also, you're invited to our G-Trans public community meetings and hearing for the January 2025 proposed service change plan, which is, there's a series of meetings here. Thursday, August the 15th at 12 noon, and there's a public meeting. Also on Saturday, August 17th at 10 a.m., Tuesday, August 20th at 6 p.m., and Wednesday, August 28th at 6 p.m. And these meetings are, I'm sorry, it doesn't say where the meetings are being held. Oh, these are Zoom, okay. Okay, and these are, and if you like more information on this here, you can go to ridegtrans.com/service changes January 2025. And you can always call our G-Trans or City of Gardena, and we can direct you for additional information. Also, we have our Zumba, which is Friday, August 30th, 6 p.m. to 7:30, which will be on the City Hall lawn. The theme is Let's Dance Gardena. We invite you to join us for a fun night of music and dancing. No experience necessary. Beginners are welcome. Reserve your spot because you know we have a lot of folks who like to dance here in Gardena. And beginning Friday, August 16th, and we will start taking reservations at 9 a.m. Again, this event is for Friday, August 30th. We also have our Keep Gardena Beautiful Day coming up, our Community Cleanup Day, which will be Saturday, September 24th from 8 to 12 p.m. And we definitely want to encourage any of the service groups out there, any schools that are looking for some community events, this is definitely the one to do here. Registration does close on September 5th, so if you'd like more information, you can call us here at City Hall to find out how to join our Gardena Community Cleanup Day. We also have another compost giveaway day, which will be Saturday, September 7th, from 8 to 12 p.m. or until supplies last, rain or shine. This is free for all Gardena residential customers. This will happen at Raleigh Park. You must be a Gardena resident, so you need to show some type of ID or utility bill. This is self-serve. Shovels will be provided if you don't have one. First come, first serve. Drive up only, no walk-ins. Bring your own containers or buckets, no bags, and limit 50 gallons per vehicle. No trailers or commercial vehicles, rental or commercial vehicles, rental limits to pickup trucks only. Also, we have our 9/11 ceremony coming up soon, which is the 23rd anniversary of the commemoration ceremony. Wednesday, September the 11th, 9 a.m. here at City Hall. Also, we have on Friday, September 13th, we have a free family movie night, and this will be A Night Under the Stars. We will be, the movie we will be showcasing is Disney's Encanto from 7 p.m. to 9:30. This will be at the City Hall complex here on the lawn, and join us on the City Hall front lawn for our Theater Under the Stars. I know this is always a big hit here, so make sure everybody brings your picnic blankets, lawn chairs, and so on. Well, those are the announcements we have. Tonight, we're going to move on to our adjournments here. Tonight, we're going to adjourn in memory of Mr. John Wellesley Hinton, Sr., who was 83 years of age and a Gardena resident since 1975. We're also going to adjourn in memory of Mr. Sergio Saucedo, who was 61 years of age, beloved father of Priscilla Saucedo, who is the office specialist in the Recreation and Human Services Department. And lastly, we're going to adjourn in memory of Mrs. Nadine Hadley, who was 79 years of age and sister of longtime Gardena resident Dr. Hadley. So at this time, the Gardena City Council will adjourn to our closed session portion of our City Council meeting at 7 p.m., followed by our regular City Council meeting at 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, August 27, 2024. We are adjourned. And also, please join us in the back so we can all sing happy birthday to our city clerk, and we have cake back there as well. So, all right, thank you. We're adjourned.